Despite Donald Trump's repeated campaign promises that his mass deportation raids would target the, quote, worst of the worst, we've seen his administration actually target some of the best. Young students, high school students, landscapers, hardworking people on the job at work. And now American kids practicing the ultimate American pastime, baseball, at practice. One baseball coach, Human Wilder, described his experience at protecting his players after ICE agents showed up at the baseball practice he runs on Manhattan's Upper West Side and Riverside Park. Wilder says the agents, who were armed with guns and tasers, approached some of the kids, some of the players, and began asking about their country of origin. Here's what he told local news.
I told my kids to walk to the back of the cages, right here. And I said, they're going to invoke the Fifth Amendment rights. They're not going to say anything. Their parents are, from the Dominican Republic, South America, Mexican, Africa. But they're kids who are born here. They have a 14th Amendment entitlement to live here. I never in my life thought this was going to happen on the Upper West Side in New York City. That whole thing, until it happens to you, you're not aware, and it happened to us.
One local assemblywoman who first brought the raid to public attention warns of this, quote, the only thing that stood between those kids in Riverside Park and a Florida detention center buried deep in the Everglades was a brave coach who knew the law. The coach, Wilder, has since moved the location and practice time to try to protect his kids and prevent this from happening again. Despite that precaution, the kids and their parents were so shaken up by the incident that only two have returned to practice so far. Joining our conversation is that extraordinary baseball coach, Human Wilder, founder of Harlem Baseball Hitting Academy. Also joining our conversation, sports columnist for the Washington Post, professor of journalism at the University of Maryland, Kevin Blackistone is here. Mark Elias is with us as well. Coach, thank you for being here.
Thank you for having me.
I want to ask you, and I want to understand, and I want to try to learn where your presence of mind came from to reach for your knowledge of the Constitution, which not everybody has. But I first want you to just tell me what happened again. Just recount this experience for us.
Well, practice was pretty much finishing up. We usually practice about 2 hours, 2.5 hours. Whenever my iPhone goes out, we're finished with practice. We videotape all our practices for the last 22 years. So I went over to shoot some hoops because my kids are telling me how old I was and I couldn't shoot a hoop like Stephen Curry, which I can't. And I just saw these ICE officers walking. And I had seen them in Washington Heights. I had seen them in Dyckman, up where more Dominican kids and South American kids live. And when I turned around to get the ball and I turned around again, I saw them approaching my kids. And I just went over and I just heard them stating, where you from, where your parents from? And I just stepped in and said, this is very inappropriate to ask these kids anything. And I said, as a person who's supervising them, I'm just going to have them implement their Fifth Amendment right and not say anything to you.
What did the agent say when you confronted them and said these kids have rights, and you got between the agents and the kids?
Yeah, his wonderful words were, "Oh, another YouTube lawyer."
What did they do? Did they leave? I mean, were they ultimately persuaded to leave the kids alone?
No, they kept changing the goalpost. It became a thing. If they have nothing, the old thing. If you have nothing to hide, you should see. Just trampling the Fourth Amendment right. Didn't really care. The whole thing came up like, I don't care what you say. I don't care what the law says. And the only thing I had that day was my uncle Pete in my ear, who's my bishop, my mother in my ear, the Constitution, and prayer. That's the only thing I had that day.
And tell me how old the kids were and where you guys were. You were in a park on Riverside and 72nd where there are a bunch of ball fields, right?
Well, there's batting cages there. We usually work in Harlem. We're the Harlem Baseball Hitting Academy. And, I always tell people it's very important that we don't want to be sought out as a victim. This academy has been around for 22 years. We graduated 400 kids out of college who walk around with degrees from Stanford and Princeton and Harvard, all African American and Latino kids. So we're not going around saying, poor little us, because we do very, very good work. Our thing is, it should not have to have a person who has a master's degree in law to know rights, and this can happen to anybody. If it can happen on the Upper West Side of 72nd Street, it can happen to anybody, and that's why we have to. There's got to be a better way for the administration to deal with this, and it's got to be a better way for people to understand their rights.
Coach, what did people, it's a really crowded area. A lot of people run in that area. There's a lot of organized practices, and there are other folks trying to practice in that area. What did the bystanders do?
They were, I'm a New Yorker bone and bone, and we're tough people here, but I saw cowards. And I hate to say that as somebody who loves the city.
It's okay, they're kids. Yeah, tell me, what did you want to see, and what disappointed you?
Obeying to authoritarianism, to authority that was out of line, pissing on the Constitution, and they came up like, I don't care. I don't care.
How are the kids now?
We usually carry between 20 and 25 kids. Some of our kids are playing in tournaments throughout the country. Matter of fact, when I get off here, one of our kids will actually be drafted this evening. And he'll be our 45th Major League draft pick. Our kids, no one shows up. I mean, we have one kid showing up. We usually carry, between 20, 25 kids who are playing, and we usually carry during the summer between 11 and 15 kids, and we're having one kid show up at practice right now.